Hello, Semra.
Hello.
Welcome
How
to
are
Bolong
you?
Binder. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. How are you? All okay?
Yes, thank you very much. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for your time. At such a short notice, you were able to join me in this discussion about the semi-final of the Champions League this season.
Yep, yep. Looking forward to it. There's lots to talk about. They were fantastic games, weren't they?
Yeah, so before we start our discussion about this semi-final matches, because this is the first time you're appearing here, and I'm sure our audience would also like to know more about you.
Mm.
So tell us something about yourself. I mean, how long have you been a television presenter and host, and also becoming a journalist? And what is it that you actually pursue in the beginning? And is this what you really wanted, or were you, or maybe you dreamt of becoming a footballer before, and then suddenly you became a journalist?
Actually, you hit the nail on the head there. I dreamed of becoming a professional football player. And when that didn't work out, then I went into broadcast journalism. The next best thing, right? To be able to at least talk about football and to watch football on a regular basis. I'll give you a very quick overview of who I am, my past, where I've been, where I am now, where I'm going. I'm originally from Los Angeles, from the United States. Born and raised. I kicked a first ball when I was 3 years old. Fell in love with the sport. It's always been my number one love, football. I grew up watching the Premier League, all the World Cups. So I played football, and that's why I wanted to become eventually professional. I eventually moved over to Spain, where I'm now. I live in Barcelona. And I've been here for about 14, 15 years.
Wow,
and
so long.
Long time. So I got into broadcasting about 10 years ago. I did a master's program in sports journalism and communication.
Okay.
And actually from there, I see you wearing a Real Madrid shirt. When I graduated from my master's program, I went to work for Real Madrid TV.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So I worked for the club for about 2.5 years. And I was a reporter, a presenter, a producer, an editor, a writer. I did everything. And after that, I moved to Turkey for 2 years. I lived in Istanbul. And I worked as a presenter and a correspondent. So I covered a bunch of different sports. I was constantly traveling, or I was in the studio hosting shows. After that, I came back to Spain. I've been here ever since. And for the last 4.5 years, I've been working with La Liga and their official television channel as their main presenter. So I do match days, I do magazine shows, interviews with players. I work in English, I work in Spanish. And voila, here we are.
So you are staying in Barcelona. Is Barcelona your favorite team, or maybe Madrid?
Oh, I can't tell you that. Those are secrets, top level secrets. No, I have to be honest with you. When I first moved to Spain back in 2007, I moved to Barcelona. So the way that I was introduced to Spanish football was through Barça.
Yes.
And everybody that I was surrounded by were obviously Barça fans. Yeah. And it was the very beginning of what would become the Guardiola era. Yeah. So it was impossible not to fall in love with the team.
Yes.
Very much. Yeah. It was to live it in the flesh, to go to games, to watch it in person. It was mesmerizing. You know, it was, I've never seen anything like it before and since. So, but then, I went to work for Real Madrid. And so obviously I have a soft spot for them too. And I know a lot of the people obviously at the club and the players, and they were wonderful. And I formed lasting relationships with those people. So it's, I have a bit of a tug of war between the two clubs. But then since I've been working for La Liga and watching the teams, all 20 teams, following them week in, week out, eventually you have an appreciation for all of them for different reasons. So I would say now I don't really support one club anymore. It's more I just like to support the league as a whole.
Okay. So I'm a Madridista, but whenever I appear on TV or on my YouTube channel, I have to be neutral. So I have to give the analysis and the information on based on facts, on data, on statistics.
I have to do the same.
Yeah, and it has to be balanced. So,
Wait, who do you have on the back of your shirt?
Benzema.
Ah, okay.
But actually,
Good choice.
my favorite player in Madrid is, from the first I started following them in 1990, is actually Fernando Hierro.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I like
Were you a
Hierro.
defender? Did you ever play football? Were you a
Yeah,
defender?
we used to play with our friends, and I was a defender.
Well, there you go. Makes sense.
I was a defender, but that was a very long time. So I like the way he played. He can build up the attack from the defense. So he was, one of the few defenders who could generate the attack from the defense.
Oh, he was a brilliant player.
Yeah,
he was excellent.
He used to come a little bit in the midfield, although he was a defender, and he can actually play in midfield also. So he was a great leader also in Madrid.
Yeah, definitely.
So I like the way he played. So I've been following Madrid since 1990, and it's not about winning or losing, but watching them play, it's a real it's a real excitement for me,
Yeah.
So I don't see whether they win or they lose, but I like the way they play, and especially the players that they bring in every year. It's almost a star player every year, except for this season. We know they have not bought any star player. Maybe they're waiting for next season due to the renovation of the Bernabeu.
Exactly.
So maybe
they've been building a war chest for Kylian Mbappe for the last few years.
Mbappe, and there are rumors also about Rudiger and also about Haaland. So we don't know what will happen, and it's coming close. So I think maybe in early June we will know what will happen with Madrid and Barcelona also doing a lot of good, playing a lot of good football with Xavi, and I'm sure they will also strengthen their squad with many new players. And actually, they are playing better than Madrid this season, to be honest.
They are.
Yeah,
they are.
Barcelona,
Well, it depends, because I think under Ronald Koeman at the beginning of the season, they were not playing well. They were terrible.
Yes.
Then Xavi came in. The first couple of games were a little bit kind of slow to start.
Right.
But then they went on this, I think, 14-game run where they were sublime. They looked so much like their old selves again, But now, I think psychologically, after getting eliminated from Europe, it took a really big toll on them. And physically, they just look a bit tired and emotionally drained. So now they're starting to play. They've been playing pretty badly the last few games. But I think now it's just like, we have nothing to fight for. We just need to secure second in the table, get back to Champions League next season. And then we start over again in the summer. So, but you're right. Real Madrid, that's the beauty of Madrid. They don't have to play good football or nice football or appealing football, but they still win.
It's like in their DNA, like they have the luck of the champions. So the main thing for them is to score goal in any way they can find, that they can find a way. But they keep winning the games, although they are not actually the better team in terms of the football that they play. But
Definitely
still, they can get the result. Okay, so for this season of Champions League, what is interesting for me is that this is the first time since 2016-2017 that we see two Spanish clubs in the semi-final. This is the first time since 2016-2017. Before, we know, like last season, it was just Real Madrid from the quarterfinal until they got eliminated in the semi-final. But this season, even in the quarterfinal, that there was Atletico Madrid. So what do you think is the key factor that has made these Spanish clubs progress so well in the Champions League this season? Because, like just now we discussed, Madrid are not playing their best football this season. Villareal are playing defend and counter. Atletico Madrid, we know it's all the compact defense and counter game, but still they're progressing well. What do you think is the key factors?
Well, I think you have to look at each club differently, right? Because they all have their own strategies, their own tactics. Carlo Ancelotti is a brilliant man manager. I would say if you were to compare him to other managers from a tactical point of view, he's not as strong as a Klopp or a Guardiola or a Simeone or an Unai Emery. They're obsessive when it comes to tactics. Carlo Ancelotti, not so much. He's like, I'll make little changes, little tinkerings, but who am I to say? They just tell them to go out there, have fun. They know what to do. So for him, I think it's more about imbuing this confidence and self-belief into say, we're Real Madrid. We have 13 Champions League titles. Nobody else has that. This is our competition. You are not going to give up. We have a never say die attitude. And so find a way to get the victory, the win, whatever you need, and you'll do it. And I've never seen such resilience in a team, even in Real Madrid. I don't remember the last time I've seen so much resilience in a team such as them anywhere, really. I mean, in that sense, they're second to none. And it's that sheer belief that's been getting them past PSG, Chelsea, and probably Manchester City. I wouldn't write them off. I actually think that even though they lost to City, it felt more like a win. Because I think psychologically, even if you saw Guardiola's face after the game, he knows what this club is all about. Now they have to go to the Santiago Bernabeu. It's a magical place. There's so much mystique. It's incredibly difficult to beat Real Madrid there, even though Chelsea did it the other day. But the point is, he knows they're in trouble. You have to kill off Real Madrid when you can, and they didn't. So that's, for me, the case of Real Madrid. It's not about the football. It's about the desire, the hunger, the willpower, and the belief that they do it, and they do it. The comeback kings. When it comes to Atletico Madrid, they've been really interesting to watch in La Liga this season because they've assembled the best squad they've ever had. But that's the problem. They have so much attacking power and so many players with flair. It's almost inconsistent with the way that Diego Simeone likes to manage and his philosophy, because you already said it. He loves to defend and defend and defend and have really tough players who are tough as nails, who are physical, who are aggressive, and they're very comfortable off the ball.
Similar like him when he was playing. Exactly like him. And that's what we've seen in the Champions League. We haven't seen that really from Atletico Madrid in La Liga this season. He's tried to find this balance between, okay, let's not be as defensive, let's be a bit more attacking, but it hasn't really worked a lot of the time. But it was, okay, we go to the Champions League. We know that the other team ahead of us probably better than us from a football point of view. We're going to play our way. We'll go back to our core essence of being. We're going to go back to being Diego Simeone and reflect that on the pitch. And I think that's what they've done. And they're one of the best defenses in Europe. They have been for the last decade. So I think in that sense, it's taken them incredibly far. And the second half, in the second leg against Manchester City, Atletico Madrid were the better team. And they came so incredibly close. Incredibly close. So forcing it into extra time, into really maybe even knocking City out. So that was really impressive to me. And they have quality players, there's no question about that. When it comes to Villareal, I think you have to give a lot of credit to Unai Emery, because he often is undervalued, underrated, not respected, but he's an excellent manager. And his tactics are, I mean, yes, he's not Klopp, he's not Guardiola, but he's certainly one of the best. And when it comes to the tactics. And the thing that's great about Villareal, in a way, they're kind of similar to Atletico Madrid in the sense that they're very tactically flexible and adaptable. And so in La Liga this season, we've seen them play a lot of different ways. They don't necessarily just sit back and park the bus like they did last night. They actually have a lot of players who are great with the ball at their feet, who can orchestrate all sorts of wonderful passing moves and runs into the area. Gerard Moreno is a wonderful player. It's a shame that he wasn't there last night. They can be lethal. They can be lethal in attack when they want to be. But they're also very, very solid at the back. They've just had so many issues with injuries and players being out with COVID and players going to the Africa Cup of Nations that Unai Emery has never really been able to stick to a preferred 11 on a regular basis. He's constantly had to make changes, not just to the personnel, but to the systems and to the styles of play. But I think he understands that in Europe, you're coming up against teams like Juventus, like Bayern Munich, like Liverpool, who have far better attacking players, let's be honest. So you almost don't have a choice. You have to be excellent at defense. And he's obsessed with details. So he studied all of the weaknesses of the other teams. And I think what really helped Villareal was the fact that both Juventus and Bayern, they didn't take Villareal seriously. I don't think they gave them the respect they deserved, and they underestimated them.
And that played really well into Villareal's hands. Liverpool, Klopp was not going to do that. So unfortunately, I think their journey stops here. But they've been brilliant.
Yeah, so if we see these three Spanish teams, actually they have something similar, which is they put a lot of effort in defending.
Yes.
Like Real Madrid, okay, they can score goals, but if we notice their match against PSG in the first leg especially, they were defending a lot of time, and actually they conceded that one goal right before the end. And in the first leg, in the second leg also, actually they could not generate a lot of attack until that mistake by Donnarumma. And again against Chelsea, the same thing in Stamford Bridge, the same thing in Bernabeu, and also against Manchester City, same like Atletico Madrid and Villareal. So are these Spanish teams missing a creative player in the middle? Because if we see Modric, yes, he's a creative player, but it's not as creative as, of course, we cannot compare him to Lionel Messi. Let's say like a playmaker in the middle, that can really generate the attack. So it's a lot of, what I noticed, a lot of direct passes being given to the strikers and hoping for the strikers to score.
I think it depends on the philosophy of how you want to play. If you want to play a passing game, then you need that kind of playmaker, someone who can, look at Barcelona. They have a midfield, I think, that has a lot of wealth of talent when it comes to that style of play. You have a Gavi, you have a Pedri, you have even Busquets, who has an excellent passing game, even if people want to write him off. And he's been great this season, by the way, especially since the return of Xavi.
Yes.
So it depends on what your approach is going to be. I think with Madrid, because they're so direct, with Atletico Madrid, because they're also, when they want to be, so direct. Villareal, they're so direct. The plan is get the ball up the pitch as quickly as possible. Yeah. So it's not about producing fanciful passes that maybe can split defenses or maybe can, it's more like just move the ball quickly in a straight line, usually down the middle if possible. It kind of depends in the moment of the game. Sometimes at Atletico Madrid, they can go wide and provide some crosses. But in the case of Real Madrid, it's get the ball to Vinicius, get the ball to Benzema. Let them do their thing, So I don't know that they necessarily need somebody who is so creative in that kind of role, if that makes sense. I would say Dani Parejo, though, however, is an exceptional football player. Okay. And he's someone who really can orchestrate the run of play, who can orchestrate attacks. He can be capable of making really nice short passes or long passes. He's very technically gifted as well, but he needs the time. And that was what happened last night. With the counter-pressing of Liverpool, they completely took him out of the game. He couldn't do anything. But for me, he's one of the most creative midfield players I think we have in Spain, actually. But again, I think it goes down to what the game plan is, how managers want.
Because in Valencia before, he was more involved in the attacks. But with Villareal, it seems that he's holding the ball more in the middle.
Exactly.
Giving it into the wide areas or giving it back to the defense. He's not moving forward as he was in Valencia before. Yeah, maybe that's because Unai Emery has his own tactics, not like
exactly.
Before,
it kind of depends on the game.
Yeah, it depends on the game. Okay, so now we have this first leg of the two semifinals being played. The first match I would like to discuss with you is Manchester City against Real Madrid. Everyone knows that Manchester City is playing much better football. And I know that Real Madrid have a very big problem in defense. Since the departure of Ramos and Varane, I don't think they have a good partnership there in the middle, whoever plays it. Because the fact is they are always conceding goals. Even in the La Liga, their defensive record is not as better as last season. In fact, they have conceded more goals before the end of this season in La Liga. And they don't have a clean sheet in the knockout stages of this Champions League. Right? But still, against Manchester City, okay, they conceded 4 goals, but they could score 3 goals, whereby we know that Manchester City is a solid team in defense. They have a good defensive record. Yeah. So, what do you think happened in that match? And Manchester
I think
City,
this match is
And Manchester
Sorry?
City could have actually finished this game in the first 30 minutes.
Yeah, they should have. They should have. But I think this game was so open and so chaotic that it was really exciting, because it was like, okay, you attack, then we'll attack. Okay, now you attack, then we'll attack. It was just back and forth and back and forth. I think in the case of Real Madrid, and you're right, both sides made horrendous errors at the back, which for the neutral viewer made it really fun to watch, because you had 7 goals, if not more, you know? But obviously, I think both managers will not be happy about that.
Yes.
In the case of Real Madrid, first of all, they didn't have Casemiro, and that is huge.
Yeah.
And as much as people want to say, oh, they have Camavinga. Okay, Camavinga is not the same as Casemiro. I'm sorry. No, there is no natural replacement, like for like replacement for Casemiro in that squad. Camavinga is still young. He's still growing into his game, but he's more box to box. He's defensively. I mean, he's strong, but he's not as strong as Casemiro.
Yes.
And so Toni Kroos, if you're going to put him in that role, you need to have a double pivot. You need to have somebody else alongside him. You could have Camavinga in that instance, or maybe you could have Valverde, but you cannot leave him on his own defend in the midfield.
And he was having problems in the middle.
Yes.
Kroos was having problem to deal with Rodri, De Bruyne.
Exactly.
Silva.
Exactly. And that, for me, that's your first line of defense, and it was completely obliterated by Manchester City. So then all of a sudden you come up to the back line, the rear guard. I think David Alaba came back too soon. I think they rushed him back from injury. I don't think he was fully fit. I think we saw him. He came off early, didn't he? Only after, I think, the first half or something like that.
Second half.
So he wasn't, I don't think, prepared to really enter into that game physically. And I think that worked against them. Militao had a shocker of a night. Actually, in La Liga, he's been excellent. Both of them have been very good in La Liga this season, and they've worked really well. Alaba brings the leadership, the experience, a very strong personality, and Militao has improved a lot next to him, and they've worked well as a partnership, I think. But both of them were just terrible. But the whole back line was terrible. Mendy also came back from injury, so he hardly had a moment to catch his breath either. So I think in general, there was a lot of individual things kind of going wrong that collectively made it not function either. Because Courtois, I mean, it's not all his fault, obviously, but Courtois actually has had a very, very good season in La Liga. He has 13 clean sheets out of 33 games. He's made 84 saves. He's top of the Zamora list. He'll probably win it. He's in the form of his life. But if you have a defunct defense in front of you, there's only so much you can do, you know? So.
And they were all good chances, actually, by the Manchester City players, exploiting the weak coordination between the Madrid players in the defense. And
exactly, that's the thing. There was no structure. There was no organization. For
no organization. And I think with this 4-3 first leg scoreline, it's everything to play for in the second leg.
Definitely,
right?
Definitely.
With many players coming back, like from Manchester City, also Cancelo and maybe Walker will be back, and from Madrid, Casemiro may be back, and maybe Alaba will be 100% fit for the second leg. What do you think will happen in the second leg? Will they play all out like this, or will City adapt the same system like they did against Atletico Madrid in the second leg? They played differently in that second leg.
They did. Yeah. I think Guardiola will be feeling a little bit nervous because he understands better than anybody what it's like to go to the Santiago Bernabeu in Europe in the semifinals. He knows that Real Madrid are just a totally different proposition. I don't know if he'll make some tweaks to the system. He might, but I just have this feeling that Real Madrid, they'll turn it on and they're going through. I really do. Even though you're 100% right. They are nowhere near Manchester City when it comes to a football team in terms of quality. They're just not anywhere near as good. But we've seen what they've done already to teams that are than them. So there is that intangible element to football and to sport that you just can't necessarily put your finger on, but somehow they just know they have these individuals that will step up whenever they need to rescue them, to save the day. And I with Benzema in the form of his career as well. I'm telling you, I'm fully confident after watching that game, even though they lost. I know that sounds really silly and counterintuitive, but I'm so convinced Real Madrid are going through.
Yeah, I think they have a real chance. But besides scoring a goal, they also have to think of stopping Manchester City scoring a goal as well, because City would love to play against a team that will play all-out attack, especially Madrid with that one goal.
I think that obviously Casemiro, as long as he's fit, he'll come back into the team. But I think he'll play Valverde as well as a false winger, kind of like he did against Chelsea. So I think you have that extra midfield man that can drop back and help to defend. So all of a sudden you have two banks of four, and you have Vinicius and Benzema kind of waiting. Then again, Modric, a counter really quick, get the ball to them.
Okay, so we discuss on the second match now. This is Liverpool versus Villareal. You know, everyone have their money on Liverpool. Right. This is a team that before this match have not lost in their last 10 matches in all competitions. And it's not about the streak that they have, which they are unbeaten in those 10 matches, but they have scored 24 goals in total in those 10 matches. So this team is like a machine. They score goals.
I think they are a machine.
They score goals in regular basis. And Klopp has many choices this season. He has Diaz, which is a brilliant player coming into the second half of the season, and Jota, Origi, Salah and Mane. We know even in the midfield, he has Naby Keita that he can play, Milner, Thiago fully fit. But in this first leg, I was hoping the Villarreal players could give a little bit of pressure to the Liverpool players in the middle. Because we know these three strikers up front, they will be waiting for the ball. Right. But these three midfielders of Liverpool, you know, I see them roaming around very easily. Thiago, Fabinho, and Henderson. I don't see the pressure that the Villarreal players are giving to them to stop to stop the distribution to the front.
And a perfect example of that is the first goal from Henderson. If you see where he is, where he starts to make his run, he's all alone. If you look at the back line of Villareal, they're man marking. So the front three are covered. But Henderson is completely free to roam around in the middle of the park. He makes that dart all the way across the pitch out wide. Nobody goes in to close him down. There's no pressure, as you say, whatsoever. He has all the time in the world to make the cross or the shot or whatever it was. And all of a sudden, with a little bit of luck, it's a goal. And for me, I completely agree with you. I think Villarreal were too deep and they were too pinned back. And the counter pressing, I think, was just too much for them to handle. They were completely stifled by it. They couldn't get out. I mean, they couldn't get out of their own half, let alone their own defense. And yes, they were very compact. They were not letting any spaces in between players. But you're right. I mean, in the middle of the park, they were letting Liverpool do whatever they want. They had all the time to play the ball around. And I think what they were trying to do was force Liverpool to try and find a way to attack directly rather than going out wide. And I mean, we could see times they were kind of making these horizontal passes. The tempo was slowed down. Villarreal did achieve that. They were able to Liverpool to say, okay, we do have to put the brakes on here because we can't find a way to penetrate or generate anything meaningful. But eventually, as they do, Liverpool figured them out. And it was almost like, well, if we can't play in between the spaces, then we'll just literally go. And there you go. Mo Salah sends the ball, nutmegs Pau Torres. And behind, and that's it, done and dusted. The floodgates were open, and I think Villarreal didn't know it hit them. I think it happened so fast they couldn't react.
And I think another problem for Villarreal has, you had mentioned earlier, that the absence of Gerard Moreno. I think he could have been the link up for the front line, because I don't see Danjuma getting the supply that he needs. So Lo Celso is not playing in his natural position, that he should be playing a little bit wide or in the middle, but he was more forward, and we can see that he gets pressed a lot of times. Actually, he was trying to move faster to the Liverpool defense, but these players in the middle, they could really restrict his movement.
I think what Emery wanted them to do, because in the last game in La Liga against Valencia without Gerard Moreno, Lo Celso was playing as a second striker off of Danjuma. So he was playing in the middle, and he was the one that was like the link between the midfields and the Dutch forward. So that's what I thought that he was going to do, because Chukwueze, he's a winger, he's a wide man.
Yes.
But when the game started, you could see it was clearly a 4-4-2 with Danjuma and Chukwueze up top, and Lo was out wide.
Yes.
So my suspicion is that what Emery was trying to achieve was, by having Coquelin on one side, Lo on the other, it was trying to pin back the likes of Andy Robertson and Trent Alexander-Arnold, who are so good at coming forward in those overlapping or underlapping runs, depending on the moment.
Yeah.
I suspect he was trying to keep them at bay, which by doing so meant that they were completely disconnected from their own forwards. So you're right, there was no service whatsoever getting to Dan Juma or to Chukwueze. And Chukwueze was playing out of position. It just didn't work.
Yes.
It just didn't work.
Yeah.
So.
In fact, Villareal just got one chance, which was nothing serious from Lo Celso from this whole 90 minutes. And I think the first goal that Liverpool scored, that gave them real confidence to kill the game, to get that second goal. And they did it in a space of few minutes. So all we have seen from Villareal is they are good defending, and they are hitting teams on the counter. And now they have to score minimum 2 goals without conceding to force this game into extra time in the second leg.
It's not going to happen.
Not going to happen?
I don't think so.
For the second leg?
There's no way Liverpool are not going to score in the second leg. There's just no
I agree
way.
with you.
One, so that means that Villarreal will need 3. And Villarreal are not a high-scoring, prolific team on a regular basis. They can do it, but it's not that common. Gerard Moreno, yes, he should be back for the game. Yeah. So unless he magically pulls out a trick, which I don't think is going to happen, I just don't see any way back into it for Villarreal. I really don't. I think they're up against an opponent who are just way too good for them, as much as it hurts.
Yeah, and I see with teams that just defend against Liverpool, it's just a matter of time for Liverpool to score.
Exactly.
Just like
Everton was a perfect example of that the other day.
So I explained in one of my contents that the Everton game for Liverpool was a practice to face Villarreal. Yeah. And it happened the same way. Villarreal also defended deep like Everton. No counter pressing they could give in the middle. And finally, Liverpool got that one chance they needed, a deflection from Estupinian, and that opened the floodgates. They could have scored more actually, maybe minimum 3 goals, but for Villarreal, I think.
But it was disallowed, wasn't it, for offside?
Yeah, for offside.
But easily it could have been a much higher scoring game for Liverpool. But you're right. I think that the sensation, the feeling is they're very much in control, Liverpool. The dominant force.
And I think from the mentality side, I think Liverpool are much strong team, because this is basically the same players which were champions before in 2019, right? So just some new additional players that have come into this side, so they know how to keep moving. And this will be the 3rd final of the Champions League for Klopp if Liverpool qualify into the final. So do you see them winning the Champions League, whether they face City or Real Madrid? Do you think they are the favorites?
You know what? I think so.
Liverpool.
I just think they're too good. And what kind of hurt me a little bit last night was watching Jurgen Klopp taking off all those players with 20 minutes to go. And he says, the job, it was just confirmation that the job was done.
True.
And so he's like, I'm not going to risk anything more. We're going for a quadruple, a historic quadruple. No one in England has done it before. We have so many games coming thick and fast in all the competitions. I'm going to take these players off. And even though they were not happy, Mane was definitely not happy with coming off. I understood Klopp and what he was doing. But for me, it was like, oh, that hurts, I mean, that is just recognition that he knows that the game. There's no coming back from it. And I was disappointed, I have to say, for 2 reasons in Villarreal. One, we kind of already talked about it, but the fact that they're capable of so much more going forward. And I felt like they really didn't force it or try it or come out with a lot of courage or bravery. They weren't really that adventurous. They didn't ever really test Liverpool. Feel like, oh, okay, maybe they actually can kind of get us catch us off guard.
Yeah.
The second thing was that I felt like Emery waited so long to make the substitutions. It was the 70th, 71st minute, something like that. The first change, I think, was out of necessity because Coquelin got injured, so Villareal had to come in. But the other three changes he made, it was so late in the game at that point. And, it had been 15, 20 minutes since Liverpool had gone ahead 2 goals. So you think you have nothing to lose at this point. So stop being conservative. Take a risk. When they did come on, those 3 players, there was maybe 2 minutes where they did get a little bit more adventurous. They ended up getting a corner, 2 corners, but they were very wasteful. But then that was it. So I don't know. Maybe that's just my mindset. I'm more about going big or going home and taking a risk, and you're already losing. But I think Emery was more conservative in scoring, trying to keep it as low scoring as possible. I can understand that, and I can respect that too. But
okay, so we wait for the second leg, Semra. So I am hoping for a lot of goals again in the second leg for the Madrid City match, and of course the Villareal Liverpool match. I think with this remaining match for Villareal, they will go all out. I don't think so. Emery will again apply the defensive tactic like he did in Anfield, because most probably this could be their last match in the Champions League. And I would like to see them, testing the Liverpool defense, because actually Liverpool also have a weakness when they apply the high pressing line. And we know when people can do the counter press, then the team have chance. But just defending against Liverpool, I think that's a very, very big risk. Only City were the team that could do the counter pressing and score a lot of goals against Liverpool. So thank you for your time, and it was a great discussion with you. I hope to have another discussion before the final, and let's see if it will be a Spanish against English final, or like many people are saying now, even many of my audiences, that it will be an all-English final. So if it is an all-English final, means it will be the 4th episode between Liverpool against Manchester City. But what's your feeling? Will it be all-English?
I hope not. I want to see Real Madrid in the final.
Against Liverpool, yeah?
Yeah, I'm going for Real Madrid-Liverpool. Yeah, let's do it. Let's go for it. I've got to have some faith in at least one of the 2 Spanish teams.
Yeah. Okay, so we hope for the best. And again, thank you for the nice discussion. So we'll catch up later before the final of the Champions League. Thank you, Semra.
Excellent. Thank you.